Shit, you can't really see me. I wanted to talk a little bit about the academic experience of a lazy high achiever. I feel like that's how I would currently classify myself. I'd like to fucking change that, but I don't know. I just want to think about it a little bit. Cause dude, I was just thinking about how just school went for me in college, and even for a couple classes in high school. There was a couple classes in high school, there were history classes, AP Euro specifically, fucked me sideways, dude. That I just completely let go of, and I was like, fuck, dude, this shit is just not gonna happen. And obviously it was because I didn't like them, but that's not an excuse. It's not like you're gonna fall in love with every single subject you do. But I think a big reason that I was very disengaged, a big reason that I did really shit was because I was very disengaged and I didn't make an effort to be engaged, right? So I don't know, I just think about how do I describe this? When I take classes, it's I feel like this is me, and can you, okay, yeah, this is tough. So they're this is me right here, and then I need to be careful not to crash my fucking car. It's not my car, it's Daddy G's car, so let's fucking, okay, yeah, so I feel like this is me, and these are all my classes, right? And the more effort that I put into engaging with the class, whether that's just asking for someone's number who's sitting next to me, just to be yo, can I grab your number real quick? I just want to know a couple people in class, so you have people to be what the fuck did we do today? Or even low-key just have a couple people to vent to and be what the actual fuck is going on right now? Which you have to be careful of, because if you only talk to people who don't know what the fuck they're doing, then you're not gonna know what the fuck you're doing. So try and gravitate towards the people who are know what they're doing. But it's nice to have a couple of those people, and ideally they're the people who know what's going on but also can vent with you. But what I was saying was I feel every action that I take to engage with the class, whether that's getting to know a classmate or talking to the professor, I feel those are the two main ones. It just feels I pulled that class closer to me, and I have a little bit more of a handle on it, right? It's I feel I know what's going on. All of the classes that I've just let go and just they went to shit was because okay, this sounds fucked, but that guy has a flat tire. It sounds fucked, but it's I low-key just stopped considering it a class. I was able to compartmentalize it so well. Well makes it sound good. It was a pretty bad thing. But it's for AP Euro, for example, I was also taking AP Chem at the same time. This is my sophomore year of high school, which taking Euro as a sophomore at my school was very, very common. It was for 99% of kids, the first AP they took. I also took Chem because I was I'm gonna fucking be smarter than these guys, which I enjoyed Chem, but that's but my point was I took Chem, I took Calculus, I took what else did I take? I took AP, or not AP, I was taking English, all the classes, right? And I did really well in all of them, but Euro I was able to just completely cut off and just not consider it a class, which I don't really know if that's good or not, because I think of this image there's this image that I saw of it's be careful about who you hang out with, and it's a image of a completely moldy like fruit next to ripe fruit, and like you can see how the mold is kind of spreading to the ripe one. And you would think that's how it works with classes, right? Because the core skill is your work habits. So if your work habits aren't good enough to do well in one class, then you would think it would bleed into your other ones and you wouldn't do well. But I was able to like completely just cut it off and just like not even consider it a class. And so like calculus, English, whatever, chem, especially, I put a lot of effort into chem. Those were like here, like I felt like I knew what was going on. It was hard, but I just had a scope, like it wasn't foggy. Like Euro was just like, what the fuck is, like that's here. Like Euro was like, what the hell is going on with that? And dude, that's a scary place to be in for classes, because if it's foggy and you don't even know what you don't know, like you don't, like that is just like you're going to like from first-hand experience, like you're gonna not do well in that class. But if you just make an effort to just like kind of get an idea of what the fuck is going on, then it makes it less scary, because like in your mind, in my mind at least, when I don't know what's going on with a class, I get like anxious about it, and then I make it seem like it's so much more work than it actually is, right? It's like all I know, like okay, for example, in college, right? There was a couple might be an understatement, but there was a couple of classes that it was like this again, right? Like I didn't really know anyone in the class, I didn't talk to the professor, I was just like going through the motions, and I knew that I was missing stuff, but I didn't know what I was missing. And in my head, I was like, I need to actually write a dissertation to do well in this class. Like that's simply what the state of the situation is. And it sounds really dumb, and it is, because all that is needed to get over that is like at a low level, like opening Canvas and looking at the syllabus and looking at your assignments. But it's like that was so scary to me, because I was like, I don't know. I was like, if I look, then it'll like make it real, I guess. Like it was kind of like a out of sight, out of mind type of situation. But I think like the way to overcome that is, one, like try your best to not get behind in the first place. And I know it's like very trivial advice, but it's like once you start getting behind, it's not impossible to catch up, but chances are if you're behind, the work ethic that led you to being behind is not going to be enough to catch you up. Catching up is very possible, especially in the early stages, but it's like if you're the type of guy, it's kind of like, I don't know, self-fulfilling prophecy, that's probably not the right word, but it's like if you're the type of guy who will get behind in the first place, chances are, like, I would probably bet that you're not the type of guy who's able to catch up. But dude, the way to overcome, like, I saw, again, there's this dude Alex Hormozy, like I mentioned him a couple of times. I don't know if it's his saying or not, but I heard him say this thing once, which is, fear is a mile wide and an inch deep, and the same goes for ignorance, right? And the latter is kind of more what applied to me for classes, is that I had this kind of amorphous fear of what the fuck I was missing, and I had all this shit to do, and I thought it was like Mount Everest. But if I actually went in and looked at what task by task is missing, or what I need to do, like, it was a lot of work, but it was not Mount Everest, right? And like the way to, I don't know how to describe this properly, just like getting over that anxiety of, like, another thing Alex Hormozy said, I feel like I'm a parrot right now, but he said action alleviates anxiety, which is also really true. Like, there's so many times where I'm like sitting there, it's actually the most brain dead fucking thing I think I've done, that the thing most brain dead thing that I do, which is that I'll sit there on my bed watching, like, just rotting, like watching some bullshit video, and just having this anxiety, like knowing that I have this work to do, and like weirdly, I don't know, it's like I choose not to do it. I don't know why that is. Like, maybe it's like feeling the anxiety is maybe less, it's more bearable than actually looking and seeing all the shit that I'm missing. I don't know. I mean, dude, I don't know. I mean, I think it is initially. I think it is initially, but you just kind of have to take, like, the leap of faith to just, like, sit down and just, like, see what you're missing, right? And that can be the only step you take, and that's okay, and, like, that's enough. Like, sometimes, like, bro, if you've procrastinated for 2 weeks and you have an exam tomorrow, like, you can't just take the first step, like, and that's your fault. And again, like, this is all kind of just like a message to myself. It's just kind of like a journal, and I just, like, can't really be fucked to write all this stuff down. But it's like, dude, if you're anxious about doing the work, it's like you just need to break it down to the smallest possible step that you can take successfully, right? It's like, if I was anxious about, like, doing, I don't know, work for some class, like, just be like, okay, let me just do one problem on this thing, on this homework, or, like, smaller than that, like, let me just open the homework, let me see what it is, or smaller than that, let me just open the fucking canvas for this class, right? As small as you can do and still accomplish it. And the thing that's so, like, I'm sure, again, this is not, like, revolutionary advice, but the thing that's hard about that I didn't realize is that requires a lot of humility to be able to do that and execute, right? It's like, it requires a lot of humility to be able to, like, literally sit there, type in the password to your laptop, go to your bookmarks, open Canvas, open fucking 15.1.12, and be like, call it a day for there, and be like, and genuinely tell yourself, like, that was a good first step. Like, that requires a lot of humility, because when I would try to do that, I'd be like, when I would try to do that, I would be like, you are the most brain dead fucking, like, how are you going to commend yourself for opening a page? But it's like, when you weren't doing shit in the first place, like, that's a step, at least, right? And it takes a lot of humility to genuinely, like, commend yourself for like, taking that step. And, dude, eventually, like, another reason it's hard is because on the surface or on paper, just opening a Canvas page seems like a very doable task. But the reason it's hard is because you're not just looking at the task, right? You still see the whole beast of, like, all the work that you need to get done. I was watching a podcast between, I think it was the Diary of a CEO. Forget the dude's name, but he was on with Jordan Peterson, who's like a therapist, like clinical psychologist or something. And he was talking about this idea of getting people to just do one step, right? And how it's hard because you're still looking at the whole beast. Because, like, if you see a giant tail poking out of a door, you're not going to be like, oh, cool, like, that's a tail. You're going to be like, fuck, there's a lion behind that door and I'm going to die. So it's like, even though you've given yourself the small task, you still have the whole thing in front of you, which is why it can still make you a little anxious to start. But it's like, bro, it's cool to kind of sit here and like think about why, And I think it's some people say like this dude Alex Hormozy that I talk about, it's like he's very like procedural person. He's like, don't like, what the fuck is the utility in sitting around and trying to dissect why you do something? Just like, he's like, this is the behavior I do, this is the behavior I want to do, what's the delta, and execute, right? He's very like, and I think that's pretty bullshit. I think it's very valuable to understand why, but you need to, the fallacy that I would fall into is like, if I just understand enough, if I analyze enough, eventually I'll have enough knowledge to where it'll be easy. And that is false. Like, you can analyze all you want and it's good, and I think it's genuinely a beneficial task to undertake, because you should understand why you're not able to do something, why you're having you should understand why you're having trouble doing something. But it's like, once you have the understanding, then it's like, okay, now you need to go execute, and that execution is always just gonna be hard, bro. That's just how it is. But I guess having the knowledge will help you. I don't know. I don't really know. I'm still trying to fucking figure it out. Like, I don't know, my work habits are still quite shit, but I'm just trying to figure out why that is. But yeah, those were just some thoughts I was having for the journal.